What is up, Sideways fam? Welcome back to the channel. We are here with Squire's IS300. This is video 2 of the series. I got one of my custom-made wiring harnesses here on the floor. I'm gonna go a little bit in depth for you guys on that this time, just to go ahead and show you guys what I all do and how I do it differently than everybody else. And kind of how my whole entire system works. So let's go ahead and see all the stuff that's been done on the car so far. As you can see, a lot of things look different than it did the first time that you guys saw it in the first video. If you haven't seen it, I also will link the description for that video, or actually the link for that one, into this video. So check it in the description and let's get right into it. So first things first, how beautiful is this thing, you guys? This is just so freaking nice. We already have our intercooler brackets welded up. We have our big bag boy, big boom intercooler already on here. Intake manifold stuff has been painted and done. And I'm gonna go ahead and go over a few things of how we did it in this one. You know, certain things that I kind of just want to go over a little bit more in depth, because it seems like the IS300 is like the most popular car on my page, even though we do mostly Supras. I have probably just as many IS300 customers right now too. So we have these kind of power steering kits that we've been kind of making for these cars, and making a bracket and making it all fit. I really like this. We utilize the Powerhouse Racing suction port, and then we do it in AN fittings and stuff too at the pump. We usually mount the regulator in 2 different places, either here with enough room for the clutch pedal assembly to fit there, or if it was going to be auto, you could leave it there no problem, or we mount it on the firewall back here, similar to where Jair's regulator is on his firewall. You can kind of see the difference. Both of these builds are identical, by the way, so you can kind of see this one's got pistons and rods, valve strings, retainers, a whole bunch of other stuff. I will also link his build for his dyno and some of his build in there as well, if you guys want to see something like this as well. This is with the comp turbo, same you know, excess power exhaust manifold, excess power intake manifold, our injector setup that we produce by being sponsored by FMS injectors, and then also having the drift motion fuel rail with the whole setup. Jair is using a surge tank. He's using the Powerhouse Racing setup, as you can see, for the twin and fuel pump setup. So the wiring will be a little bit different, but I've already accounted for that and gotten that done. We'll be doing downpipe today. We'll be getting all that situated. We'll be getting all the intercooler piping situated today. We'll get the lights back in. Hopefully his JDM bumper will end up fitting on here. We need to do turbo lines. We need to do throttle body. We still need to go ahead and do our little CNC O-ring cut we're going to do back there. We need to fabricate throttle cable bracket. We need to do throttle cable, and start vacuum lining everything in and making everything look all nice and pretty. Everything as far as coolant lines is already hooked up and done and blocked off and good to go, so that's going to be awesome. Cannot wait to get this thing on dyno. I want to show you guys what you know, VVTi engine with GTE rods in it can do, so you guys can see what real numbers would be. This engine does have 264 cams in it, but the head is 100% stock. The 264 cam is a 100% drop-in cam that you will not need to modify anything for, unless if you had bad valve lash when you put it in the vehicle. So let's go ahead and get into wiring harness. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but let's get a little bit kind of deeper into this. Obviously on my harnesses, everything is labeled at the connector. You'll be able to see IAT, map sensor, which injector, you know, injector 1, so you can't be stupid and not plug it in. All the AC integration is there. We have, for everyone who wants to be able to run a dash display, you can hook up your speed sensor from your transmission to your BTI, then your ECU can read it. You can do boost by gear and a bunch of other super crazy stuff that is necessary depending on what kind of racing you're doing. So on my harness, for people that have ordered this from me or have worked with this from me, you're gonna have 2 coolant temp sensors, okay? You're gonna have one here and one underneath here. One's gonna be for your factory sensor, one's gonna be for your GTE sensor or whatever other sensor we choose that we're gonna run in your neck. They can be ran either or connector by just shaving one of the pins off. If you guys need help, message me, let me know what you want me to do. As you can see here, I have a ECU header connector that is built into the harness. So what I've done is I've removed an ECU header from a factory ECU. I've gone ahead and used some hot glue in here to be able to put all this stuff together, shaved it down. This is a little bit hotter glue than what you would typically put for any of your like home projects. It's kind of a different kind of thing. But anyways, I go ahead and I pin them all in and I glue it all together so that it won't come apart. You won't have any problems. This will now go and move your factory ECU wiring, so the whole ECU box can be deleted, to where you'll run this stuff all underneath here underneath everything, and you will not see any wiring in the engine bay. It'll look just like this, basically, okay? That jumper that I have on the harness will plug into your main ECU connectors that give your ECU power and ground for your stock computer. Now, all your other stuff here, starter, gauges, yada, 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 that will all be now moved as well from where that is up here by the TPS and everything. The whole entire system, both ECUs will now be put in your glove box. You will have to cut a hole back here in the back of your firewall, and then you'll be able to run your wiring harness through here, put your catch can here to cover the harness and whatever you want to do later. You'll have a nice, a nice amount of room. This is for all the people that want to go ahead and put their battery in the back and want to be able to run twin fuel pumps and make big power and not make only, 300, 400 horsepower on a stock setup. If you're going to be doing something like that, with a stock engine without modifying it, there's no reason to move the ECU, except for the fact that you do not have enough room to modify your intake manifold. So if you want to do an aftermarket intake manifold, you're going to have to do this. If you want to go ahead and do, big power, you're going to have to do this regardless as well. Or you're going to shave the box down and have it look like complete shit. So, just kind of showing you guys a little bit of an extra thing. And then as you can see down by the ECU, I now have all of my ECU connectors for the factory ECU integrated to being next to now the AEM Infinity. This is a plug and play that will plug right into your AEM Infinity. I can do this to ECU Masters. I can do this to, Haltech Elite. I can do, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But my choice of pick is AEM Infinity. Everybody always asks me, what do you want to run? What do you recommend running IS300? What do you recommend? What do you recommend? I put everybody on AEM Infinity. That is my choice of ECU. I wouldn't pick anything else if it was me. If the car is going to remain auto, and I'm answering a lot of these questions, people keep messaging me on Instagram about yada, yada, yada. If you're going to be automatic, you need to run a Haltech Elite. I think that is your best way. You can keep the car automatic and still retain the factory computer, and it will still shift and work. Transmissions, these automatic transmissions are, in my opinion, super garbage. You can only make like maybe 350 horsepower, 400 horsepower, and then they explode, and then you guys spend a bunch of money to build them. But I haven't really gone in that route to see kind of what they actually do, because we all go manual and we all just do it the straight ahead way all the way to the end so we can all be happy. So Vinny's in the back right now getting the trunk stuff all torn apart so we can go ahead and get the battery moved to the trunk. We're going to be finishing up our battery location for that right now and going to the starter. And then we're going to go ahead and get the clutch pedal stuff done. This is going to be kind of a long video, you guys, so enjoy. I'm going to try to give you guys as much knowledge as I can that I haven't already shared with you guys last time. And let's get it. Alrighty, guys, so I know there's going to be kind of a gap in this video, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of fill you in on what's going on. Danny's on his way right now. It is Thursday night. We just finished dynoing the Ogre Motorsports car, and Squire's IS300 NAT build is about to start right now, actually. So let's go ahead and show you what's going on, kind of go over all the little odds and ends so we can get this video ended, and we can get the car on dyno next week. So mind the mess, but the big intercooler is on like we normally use on all of our stuff. There's all this wiring we're going to go ahead and clean up and get done, but everything is pretty much done. We went ahead and fabbed a custom downpipe. Precision turbo is all nice and hooked up. As far as the wiring harness, it's all on. I have not done any cleanup yet because obviously we're not finished with it yet. Fuel pressure regulators mounted in a different spot than we normally do. We did the ABS Elite differently. We have our own power steering kit now that we're offering for the IS300, and we have a way of doing the bracket now and everything too. So it's really, really nice, just trial and error and making your own kit and making everything done. It's basically like a budget Powerhouse racing system setup. AC's all set up. We went ahead and did the ECU delete thing where we put the ECU in the back. Battery's been relocated to the trunk, and we're inside the car. Let me show you real quick. Let me go ahead and give you some light. Alrighty, so really quickly, so we got the RM54 in here with the transmission crossover adapter and the spacers. That is the billet assembly for a fully rebuilt RM54 that we put in here. We got the AEM Infinity already hooked up and the factory ECU in the glove box where we always put them. We have the igniter that's been moved now into the engine bay. We have our CAN system, our relay for our startup with a fusible link in here. So if you ever have any wiring problems, it's going to be there. Our twin fuel pump relay system that goes all the way to the back. I will show you. We went ahead and ran that down in here to the trunk for the Powerhouse racing setup for twin fuel pumps. You will not need 3 in this one because we're going to be utilizing pumps in tank. And we have the CAN system that we're going to have here that'll be labeled as an AEM net connector or CAN. Those will be for our BTI gauges over there on the back of the SE300. So Pretty much, you guys, we are done. I mean, throttle cable's done. We went ahead and did our hookup. This is one of our black setups. So we have the black intake manifold with the black throttle body, Toyota TPS, a whole bunch of other little odds and ends stuff for this build. But basically, we just need to go ahead and bleed the brakes, get the clutch system put in, put the interior back together, and we're done. This has all been wired up in the back as well. You can see my relay system over here for the twin relays that are now back in here underneath. We have our 2 wires powering our 2 pumps and our quick connects for our Powerhouse Racing fuel hanger that will be able to suit 3 pumps, but we only going to be running 2. We'll only ever need 2 really for the system. And then our battery relocation in the trunk. I will go ahead and show you guys the battery relocation kit before we end the video, you know, on this, or maybe in the next video, so you can see how clean we do it in our cars. And we'll also be going ahead and putting a BTI in the navigation system similar to all the other ones. I will see if I can link a video in this as well of the car that we did. I think I have it in one of the videos we have from Supers in Vegas where I fold it up and I'm in the car driving and everything is really, really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a few other small little things done before Danny gets here, and let's see if she starts. Woo! Needed to get throttle in it because I think it's closed. I need an 8mm and we need 2 8mm open ends, guys. Good battery voltage, got good water temp, good fuel pressure, good oil pressure. Looks good. That turbo. Woo! No leaks. No leaks at all. Brand new everything on this thing. Look at that. Nice. Hell yeah, brother. Yee-yee. Alrighty guys, so we are ready for dyno. It is Saturday morning. This is gonna be our last time getting through this. I wanted to show you real quick the trunk like I told you I'd show you. This is with the full battery location in here. His amps and subs are underneath here, underneath the bottom of this. Let me show you real quick. He's got an amp here, and he has custom subs that are all underneath here that I don't want to get into showing you, but super, super clean. It fits in like the OE, like jack location and stuff. We wanted to keep it real nice and OEM for the customer. We wanted to keep it really nice and OEM for the customer. So let's go ahead and close this and let's go around and show you what's going on with the car. So it is kind of messy right now, so mind the mess in the glove box, but shifter's in the center. That's already all good to go. The next video, you'll see everything finally cleaned up, but this is pretty much finished product right here. It looks badass. He wanted the intercooler black, so he went ahead and painted the front of it black because he wants everything super, super low key. So the next video when we start it, I'll do a little B-roll with some music for you guys to show you everything, but this thing just looks so freaking nice. Look at this, you guys. Everything's mounted, everything's super nice. And it's all black and murdered out. This turbo spools amazingly. This is a Precision 5862 I mean, we'll be able to see kind of how it all works out on dyno and, you know, numbers versus what we normally have. We usually run a way bigger turbo, but the cool thing about this turbo, I didn't really get too much into this for the Precision, and as you can see, it is a Precision turbo right there. The cool thing is, like, it's almost like a T3 turbo, but they stuck it into a T4 housing with a T4, like, big, you know, 4-inch style compressor housing. So I mean, typically this would look way smaller and like a T3 turbo that you put on your car. So we're gonna check it all out. This is basically the biggest T4 that you can buy from Precision. So overall, I think this thing's beautiful. His TRD bumper did not fit. There's no way in hell. It's over there on the top of my RX-7, just kind of sitting over there. So yeah, you guys, cannot wait for dyno. This is that, you know, GTE combo, rod combo that everyone's always talking about on the internet, everyone's always talking about online. I'm gonna put GTE rods in my engine and yada 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 yada. So we went ahead and did it for you guys, just so that we can show you guys like difference between VVTi just stock, you know what I mean, your IS300 stock engine, your GTE rod, you know, basically stock engine with some cams, because this engine does have 264 cams. I don't know if you saw in the other video. Basically, this thing has GTE rods, ARP rod bolts, ACL full race bearings. It has GTE tomei head gasket, MLS head gasket with ARP head studs and 264 cams. And then we have the excess intake manifold, our custom throttle body, the excess exhaust manifold, our custom downpipe, our custom intercooler piping kit. You know, we go ahead and modify all of that. It's not from the factory, not from the box. You can't just go and buy the excess intake manifold and have all your ports welded in, and you have to actually drill those and TIG weld those and put them in the correct spots. On the exhaust manifold, we do hack off the 4-bolt flange they give you, put the hypergate on it. You probably won't be able to see it from here, so whatever. All the exhaust work we went ahead and already finished, so I mean, let me get a quick little glimpse of that for you guys. Went ahead and put a black muffler tip on the back, did all 3-inch piping all the way to the front. Kind of hard to see from right here, but that's all done. So this is going to pretty much conclude the video on this thing, you guys. She's ready. Next video will be on the dyno, making some jam. I mean, we have really high expectations for the car. I think the car is going to do very close to what Jair's did. Obviously not quite as crazy, because Jair's has 272 cams and the head's got the CNC port and a bunch of other craziness, fully built, but the compression ratio on this is a 10-to-1. So I mean, we should get really crazy turbo spool, really crazy torque, and it should make it a super low boost. So AEM Infinity, our custom harness, obviously, and yeah, I mean, you guys already saw this. I'm just reiterating for people that skip in the video and don't watch the video all the way through. If they catch this segment of it, they need to see kind of what's going on. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next video is gonna be sick. I'm gonna link the first video and this one as well, so you can watch the first part of the build of putting the engine and putting it together. And until next time, guys, peace.